Nick Groves, your host here with Trading Analytics, and today we have a lot to talk about following this near 0.5% move lower today in the S&P 500. I just need to start to point out that we've been coming into a decent correction. We're at 5% from the highs now, and this is a time where investors may want to begin to step in. But first, let's just talk about the levels. So from the lows of October of 2023 to the highs, we've now retraced to the 23.6 fib, and it looks as if at the moment we're holding. Now, I've been harping about the 50-50 level and the 5100 level. It looks as if we did close below the 50-50 level, and if you take a look at the 2024 range, the 50% retracement comes in right around 49.75. I am thinking if we break the lows of today, tomorrow, I think that will likely come down and test this level. I think it makes sense to swipe the 5,000 level stops, get down a little bit, and then potentially bounce. But there's a chance that we might not even get that bounce. I've looked at other areas in the S&P, like the equal weighted S&P, and this is the thumbnail. We've actually come to the 618 of the 2024 range for the equal weighted. And it's entirely possible that we do start to see some form of a bounce. We're in a bull trend, and bull trends have corrections. Now, can we correct further? We certainly can. And one of the reasons why I'm nervous about that is because of the tech sector. The tech sector is just now starting to break a little bit, and we do have just a little lower from here, around 17,550 or so. We have the 38.2% retracement of the 2024 range. And I find that that would be a significant level to actually get in. But we also know that just like intraday, resistance is going to be up at 17,800. Now we broke it today, came back tested it, and moved lower. So this is a large level now. I think in the event we get above here, we're likely to just squeeze higher. And where does higher look like? Well, at least as far as the S&P goes, I think we're likely to come back and retest the 5100 level, if not maybe even a little bit higher, around 5120. I think this similarly goes for the S&P. If we get back above 5050, I think we're likely to squeeze higher. In the meantime, though, this is bearish, and I think moves down towards 49.75 are likely to be bought. I think I'm going to start establishing longs. I've been short since the beginning of April, and I just took off that position, and I'm looking to get long. I'm looking to play into a bounce. And so let's also talk about big tech. So Facebook finally broke this support here at 500, 503. We've been highlighting it for you guys. We broke it, hovered around it, and then eventually moved lower down to 487. So 487 is now going to be support. I think that there's likely some more support around 475, just looking left horizontally. But if we get down towards 454 or so, that's where things are going to get really interesting. I think that if we break 450, we're going to see a quite strong chance that we actually fill this gap around 412. So that's a big level to be watching. I've also been taking a look at Microsoft. Microsoft finally broke this support at 418.80, 419, and it broke it, back tested, and also you could kind of tell because there's support here from this range. Back tested it, moved lower. So I think that suggests a further downside for Microsoft. I think that there's likely to be some support around 400. I think that big round number is likely to support that stock. And aside from that, until we get below there, it is technically still in a bull trend. We're just pulling back. We're still making lower highs, and you have to respect that. But also taking a look at Amazon. Amazon also broke some critical support today at 182. And I think that there's a good chance that we actually at some point get down to 173. That would take us back into this channel support. That channel capped us for pretty much all of 2023, and then we broke out in February. So I think this would be a good level to get long Amazon in the event you were looking to do so. But for now, support's going to be at these lows, see if they hold, and then resistance is up at 190. Tesla actually stayed within its range for the most part, sitting where it was yesterday. It's just consolidating right now. It is in a firm bear trend. You can see post-close we're hovering near the lows again. I think on a move down to 147, you might begin to see some buyers. I also took a look at a longer time frame on Tesla, and I noticed that 150 is quite a significant level. 150 capped us in 2020 before we eventually broke out. You can also see that it held as a back test again for support back in April of 2023. So 150 is going to start to draw some eyeballs, in my opinion. But if we get below there, I've also been talking about the gap here at 143, and I think that this is going to be a good area to actually get long Tesla. Nvidia, man, it closed on lows, which is not good. Usually, if you close on your ass, you're going to open on your ass. I don't want to see that, but it might occur. The support's going to be at 830. If we break 830, I think we're likely to retrace quite a bit lower. This is a bearish development for Nvidia, in my opinion, and I think that in the event that we do break, I think that it's likely that we actually come and test the 780 level. I think we get somewhere around 800, and then I believe that's where you might begin to see a bounce. Just looking at big tech overall, I tried to highlight this on my Twitter earlier with Trading Analytics, that we are breaking the support here, and it looks as if it could continue. I think that in the event we get near 23.25 or so in the Mag 7 composite, that we actually could continue higher. But for now, it looks as if big tech might continue to roll over. So those readings that I was showing on S&P, like we might bounce or so in RSP, it does suggest that we could see further downside below 5,000. So that's my quick update for you all. Stay safe and happy trading.